Hey guys, it is I, Kuroninja. And if you're watching this video, it's probably because you found out about the Super Sentai and Kamen Rider fanfiction where all the Rangers and Riders are professional wrestlers in a professional wrestling ring. I made this video to make people less confused about the series that takes place in the Kuroninja Multiverse but has its own separate continuity. Welcome to the Gauntlet. Okay, so you might be wondering, what is the Gauntlet? Well, you see, in the Kuroninja Multiverse, there are these dimensions known as the Outer Realms that represent good and evil, order and chaos, everything in between. The Gauntlet is the Outer Realm of chaotic good, represented by the color red, and it's under the protection of an interdimensional guardian named Agamo. This dimension is the easiest out of all the Outer Realms to travel to. Many heroes travel to this dimension seeking to become champions, while other people go there as audience members to watch the heroes fight each other and become champions. Now, all of that wasn't important except for the last part. The story that we're talking about is named after the Outer Realm of the Gauntlet because that's supposedly where the stories take place, and it was written by the Kuroninja of Earth Zero, who started going by the pen name Hibiki no Oja in 2020. This is not a reference to the Kamen Rider. Okay, so anyway, the Gauntlet's roster consists of Sentai Rangers, Kamen Riders, and some original characters in Kuroninjas. The general manager used to be Space Sheriff Gavin until 2019, and now it's Ryu Commander. Kamen Rider Decade, though, is personally in charge of the Kamen Rider division. Now, there are a lot of fighters in the Gauntlet. Some of them fight alone while others make alliances with other fighters. And some of those alliances become so strong that they become one of the many factions in the Gauntlet. Alright, in this section I will be going into detail on the different factions in the Gauntlet. The Enforcers are a group that consists of Kuroninja, his right-hand man DSR, and the rest of his followers. The 6th Ranger Legacy, the team of Time Fire, Dragon Ranger, and Abare Killer are also part of this group, but lately, the Enforcers haven't done that much of anything. The 6th Squad is a team led by Gokai Silver. It was created in 2018 during a title feud between Gokai Silver and Lord Draken. This faction doesn't really team up that often outside of tag team matches, and their partnership is more of a business deal rather than some kind of special bond. Underworld is one of the oldest factions in the Gauntlet. This faction consists of outcasts who are either fighters that weren't really popular when they started out, fighters that the Kuroninja of Earth Zero wanted but had no idea what to do with, or both. Sometimes, in special cases, some new members join because of a connection they have with another member of Underworld. Many Underworld members have gone to become breakout stars and win championships, mostly the Trios Championship. The group is led by Death Ryuger, but Hurricane Blue is the unofficial leader of Underworld in the women's division. I've had some rivalries with some members of the Underworld, like Death Ryuger and Kamen Rider Spectre. The Q Rangers have their own faction. Usually canon Sentai teams don't count as a faction, but the Q Rangers have more than 6 members, so Hibiki no Oja considered them a faction. The Golden Age is a faction led by Kuroninja Gold, the Kuroninja of Earth 25. It started out as a heel faction until 2020, during a feud with another heel faction called the HNO. The HNO, also known as the Hibiki Nightmare Order, is a group led by the Kuroninja of Earth Zero. Since he likes to put patterns and references in his work, each member of the HNO is there for a reason. Kamen Rider Hibiki has the same name as Kuroninja of Earth Zero's favorite actress, Hibiki Otsuki, and Kamen Rider Oja is Hibiki Otsuki's favorite Kamen Rider, and it's also a reference to the pen name that Kuroninja of Earth Zero uses. I don't know why Kamen Rider Dark Ghost is there, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. And Kamen Rider Knuckle uses the Kurumi Lockseed. Kurumi is the name of my Earth Zero counterpart's waifu, but I don't watch anime and I only know what she looks like because Kuroninja of Earth Zero won't stop talking about her. Emerald Club is a faction led by Anti-Kuroninja, created after he got rejected by Shiro Ninja in 2019 at Summer Showdown. It is the same as Emerald Club in the Kuroninja series, except that Kamen Rider Kenzan joined in 2021. Emissaries of of Earth is a faction formed after Abare Black and the Ryuso brothers turned on Kuroninja Gold and left the Golden Age. They also convinced Zuo the World to leave Underworld, but besides the Ryuso brothers being the longest reigning Gauntlet Tag Team Champions, EOE hasn't really done anything. And lastly, we've got the Prism, the newest faction to be formed in the Gauntlet. It is named after and has the same color scheme as Dark Prism. I think the original plan was for Hakaider or Kamen Rider Caliber to be the leader of this faction. But then Stay Caesar was introduced, so plans were changed at the last minute, and now he's the leader. Okay, now that you know more about the fighters, let's talk about what these fighters are fighting for. Even if you aren't a professional wrestling fan, you probably already know that there's championship belts involved. This is the same for the Gauntlet, which has 9 championship belts. First, we've got the most prestigious of the titles, the Gauntlet Ultimate Championship. This is the most prestigious title in all of the Gauntlet, and it doesn't change hands very often. Whenever someone wins this championship, it's usually a big deal, and this title is almost always defended in the main event. Next, we've got the Gauntlet Women's Championship. It's basically the same thing as the Gauntlet Ultimate Championship, but for the women's division. The Gauntlet Tag Team Championship is the same as the Gauntlet Ultimate and Women's Championships, but it's for the Tag Team division, and it's defended in tag team matches. And in case you don't know what a tag team is, basically 2 people are holding this title at the same time. The Gauntlet All-Star Championship is another singles title, but it's not as prestigious as the Gauntlet Ultimate Championship. This title is known for being defended more than the Gauntlet Ultimate Championship, and it's meant for fighters who aren't on the same level as the Gauntlet Ultimate Championship, or whoever's the Gauntlet Ultimate Champion. The Gauntlet Mixed Tag Team Championship is like the Gauntlet Tag Team Championship, but it's defended exclusively in mixed tag team matches. Me and Lupin Yellow have won this title many times, and yes, that is the only reason why these championship belts exist. The Mixed Tag Team Championship isn't really a prestigious title though, and it's only relevant if the champions are either the Go On Wings or the team of me and Lupin Yellow. The Gauntlet Rider Division Championship is a title that's slightly more prestigious than the Gauntlet All-Star Championship, but not as prestigious as the Gauntlet Ultimate Championship. What makes this championship special is that only Kamen Riders are allowed to challenge for this title. The Gauntlet Women's Tag Team Championship is the same as the Gauntlet Tag Team Championship, but it's for the women's division, which is similar to the Gauntlet Women's Championship. The Gauntlet Trios Championship is a title defended in trios matches. 3 fighters at once hold this title. One thing you might notice is that this title changes hands very quickly, and it's quite rare for any team to be the Gauntlet Trios champions for more than 100 days. The Gauntlet Trios Championship got most of its prestige from Underworld, who have won this title many times. Last but not least, we've got the Gauntlet X Championship. This championship was invented by Lupin X after he lost the Gauntlet All-Star Championship. The idea with the X Championship is that the champion can vacate the title in exchange for an opportunity to win the Gauntlet All-Star Championship. But at the same time, the champion has to defend the title at any time, any place, 24/7. Some of the X champions I remember the most are Kiba Ranger, Gokai Green, Death Ryuger, Kamen Rider Maha, the Ryuso brothers, Lupin Red, Kogasa Tatara, Kira May Green, Majin, Sayori, Anti-Kuroninja, and the Body Pillow. I think you already know that this championship is the most unpredictable, and the title could change hands at any time. You don't even have to be signed to the Gauntlet to win the Gauntlet X Championship. Alright, so unlike the rest of the Kuroninja Multiverse, the Gauntlet takes place in its own continuity in real time. Weekly shows take place on Sunday, while major events happen mostly on Friday. An average season begins on the night after Ultimate Gauntlet Mania, which is the first episode of the weekly series to take place after Ultimate Gauntlet Mania. Then, during the first major event, there's a ladder match known as the Battle for the Briefcase, where the fighters have to climb a ladder to get the briefcase, and inside is a contract for a Gauntlet Ultimate Championship match, and the briefcase can be cashed in at any time. The next major event is the first of the top 5 most prestigious major events in the Gauntlet. Future Fist. Future Fist takes place during WrestleMania week, so there's a lot of big matches that take place at this time. Future Fist also often takes place at the same time as the debut of a new Sentai team. After Future Fist is over, not much happens until the first week of June, which leads to the next major event, Ultimate Power. Ultimate Power isn't as big as Future Fist, but still got a lot of memorable moments. And then in late July, the third of the most prestigious events take place, and that event is Summer Showdown. Almost every Summer Showdown opens with a ladder match for the Rider Division Championship, and this is there to highlight the many different Kamen Riders in the Gauntlet. The next major event takes place in August. Usually this event is called Power Surge, but in 2021 it was named Rebirth after Anti-Kuroninja found out that Aoi Rena would be retiring at the very end of 2021. There's not that much hype for Power Surge though, because it only takes place a few weeks after Summer Showdown. Now, September and October is when things get really intense, because October is the month of the fourth of the most prestigious major events, known as Faction Wars. The main event of Faction Wars is the Faction Wars match, which is a three-way trios elimination match. After Faction Wars is the last yearly major event of the year, Final Countdown. What makes Final Countdown different from the others is that it's 3 weeks long and takes place on Sunday for those 3 weeks, but Final Countdown is just the beginning of the road to Ultimate Gauntlet Mania. Now, Ultimate Gauntlet Mania season begins in December with the Ranger Rider Rumble, and in the Ranger Rider Rumble, 30 mystery fighters enter the ring one by one, and they can only be eliminated if they went over the top rope and their feet hit the floor. Whoever wins the Ranger Rider Rumble then becomes the challenger to the Gauntlet Ultimate Champion in the main event of Ultimate Gauntlet Mania. And then on the last week of January is the most prestigious major event in all of the Gauntlet, and the one that everyone is waiting for, Ultimate Gauntlet Mania. This is the most well-known event in the Gauntlet. I've always been part of some of the best Ultimate Gauntlet Mania matches. The main event of Ultimate Gauntlet Mania is always a Gauntlet Ultimate Championship match between the winner of the Ranger Rider Rumble and the Gauntlet Ultimate Champion. Alright, so before we close off the video, there are some fun facts I want to talk about, and we're going to go through some of them. First, Go-On Gold and Kamen Rider Kickhopper are both part of the roster, but neither of them can be seen in the same room together. April 12, 2020 holds the record for the most times the Gauntlet X Championship was exchanged between two fighters, and those two fighters were Kamen Rider Maha and Ryusol Green. Any tag team matches involving the Ryusol brothers, the Go Riders, or the Hell brothers have more detail put into them than other tag team matches, especially if it's a match between any of those two teams. For some reason, despite the fact that the Gauntlet's continuity is completely separate from the Kuroninja Multiverse's continuity, the casket match between Kuroninja and Lord Draken is considered an important part of the main Kuroninja Multiverse lore. Speaking of the Kuroninja Multiverse lore, Emerald Club first appeared in the Gauntlet before it made its proper debut in Emerald of Evil. It was supposed to be just a tag team of Anti-Kuroninja and Shinken Green, but then the Kira Majors were revealed, and they have a gemstone theme, so of course you know what happened next. And usually, all 30 participants of the Ranger Rider Rumble are kept a secret, but in 2020, I hosted a game show where the winner would get to choose one fighter to enter the Ranger Rider Rumble. The one who got chosen was Oma Gio, who is also the Gauntlet Ultimate Champion at the time. Another thing that happened in 2020 was this weird storyline where Anti-Kuroninja got into a feud with Kamen Rider Buster over an unsanctioned championship belt, and this feud also involved Hurricane Red and Natsuki from Doki Doki Literature Club. Throughout 2019 and 2020, you might read lines about how some people don't like Hurricane Red and think he's only there because of his last name. Hurricane Red's last name is Shiina, and if you're familiar with my content, then you probably know the significance of the last name Shiina. Anyway, that is all for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, I have nothing to do with Kuroninja.